Yeah.
I have to ask, which chefs have been the most influential on you over the years, throughout your career as you are working towards becoming a chef? And where did you travel, over the years?
I would say, you know, the first one that really left everlasting memory in me is Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams is a chef in Jamaica, and he used to work on a lot of cruise ship as a kid, just in at Buskwell Beach Hotel.
Mhm, mhm,
But I remember him taking me under his arms or under his wings, and everything we cook, it would be like taste it, taste it, taste it. He never compromised taste.
mhm,
Never. Never. And back then, I mean, you're talking years ago, so the cooking was different from today, but the techniques hasn't changed much.
mhm,
Roasting, braising, stock, soups, all those things, those foundation is what I learned from him. That really, until today, those skills. Learn how to use a knife, make sure your cuts are proper. Those basic things that you can't even. It's very hard to find those basics in the young cooks today.
sure,
But I
sure.
learned those basic from them, and he was major in it. I would say as I get older, the next chef that really made an impact on me is Andres Kistler, and he's still the
Mm.
executive chef at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. And he gave me my first big break in America, and we're still remain close as ever.
Oh, that's
But
amazing.
yeah, but making sauces with him, it was an eye opener. And so he's from Austria. And before I went to work for him, I was working for another Austrian chef at Beach's Turks and Caicos.
Okay.
Right. So he was a second Austrian, and but what I've learned in sauce, and it's just it's a depth, man, and not everybody can do that. Not
No,
everybody
it's
can do that. I've been all over the world, and I don't know. People will said, well, we're made the best, or I tell you, Austrians, when it comes on to their sauces, it's not like it.
what do you think is something that they do in particular, that sets them apart?
It's a timing. Um, they take caramelization to a whole different level.
Okay.
It's timing, and also the balance of a sauce.
Mhm.
From the different acid that is used in it. I first learned how to apply different acid to food working with Chef Andre.
Okay.
And yeah, it's the balance, man. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about, right? It's about
Right.
finding that balance in your
And
sauce
time,
work.
yeah, it's not a timing is everything. When they start from where it starts to the period of time it take to where it finish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
not
Just
a
having that down as clockwork.
yep.
Chef Kistler, and then who else were some, really important ones for you?
Chef Kistler, definitely Michel Roth, at Ritz in Paris.
Mm.
Major one for me. When I on and off Paris and been there, it's such an eye opener how he does things. And you walk in that kitchen and it's like you're on stage every day. It's
Oh,
like
really?
oh my gosh, you're on stage every day, and there's always a photographer in the kitchen, and it's always immaculate, everything. And every dish comes out, and every single day is like you're at the Bocuse d'Or every
Oh,
day.
yeah. Yeah.
It's just that precise and good every day, man. I've seen people break down, can't get it right, and realizing it's not for them. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
what I learned there is that, and I've known this all along, but um, consistent and integrity, absolutely number one thing there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure. I mean, that's just what the best restaurants in the world do,
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah.
There's no getting around it. I mean, you can
Nope.
have all the newfangled tools and the foams and the liquid nitrogen and the smoke and everything else, but without having the foundation, without having the technique and understanding
Yeah.
how to drive the most flavor out of every component that you're
Right.
using, it's all surface level stuff. It's not going to get you very far.
Not at all.
Were there any other chefs that really stood out as you were sort of making your way to Oklahoma City, which we're going to get to in just a second?
No, those are the ones that I really, of course, there's a lot of, when you look at what chefs are doing in restaurant around the world, there's some that really caught my attention, and you kind of look at what they're doing to see where the trend is going and everything. But the ones that I've worked directly with,
Hmm.
those are the guys,
Yeah.
Andres Kessler, Michelle Roth,
Hmm.
Mr. Williams, just
Hmm.
those people that is really hands on that kind of mold me to where I am.
That's
But
nice.
when you look at restaurants that if you should say, "Hey, what are the restaurant you really pay attention to?"
Yeah, that's what my next question was going to
Right,
be.
I would say the 11 Madison Park,
Yeah.
definitely. Um, Gosh, there's so much of them.
Well, looking at your food at the Gray Sweater, um, you can see how important, color, texture, the plateware, everything, how it plays into the food. And I can see, not that there's similarities per se, because your food is probably very different than what Chef Hume's doing, but I can see the level that you're seeking is at par with what they're doing there, for sure. Uh, Now, I wanted to see, you mentioned, you travel around the world, you cooked in Paris, you've cooked around, the Caribbean a little bit. What was the city that you lived in or worked in that you just like fell in love with? Was Paris the one that really took you?
Yes, yes. But you know what? Definitely yes to answer that question. But here's what I fell in love with more than anything. It's the season to cook.
Mm,
It's what I fell in love with more. But Paris, yes, because of the access to good products.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Um, but if I was to take that further and go deeper, I'd says it's season because I love to cook in the spring. So when everything's
Yeah,
back, everything
I'm
is
with you on that one.
it's light, everything's that's it coming back.
It's the rebirth.
It's the rebirth. So
It's
yeah,
fresh, it's
you're
clean,
right.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you
It's
on that one
Paris
100%.
because Paris has so much to it. There's so much to discover. You can be in Paris for a umpteen of years and you can't. It's just so much.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, very
But
nice.
on my list though, where I want to go is to Spain. I've never been to Spain.
Okay,
So that's on my list to go to.
that's what I'm planning on going this summer, that's my next
Oh,
trip,
really?
yeah. Yep,
Nice.
yep, take my son over there. Yeah, for
I
sure.
love seafood, and I heard the seafood there is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I've only done the south of Spain, and that was
Wow.
incredible. So we'll do a little bit more,
Yeah.
exploring this year. No doubt, no doubt. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Chef Radio Podcast. If you like what you hear, check us out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. You'll hear full length episodes of me interviewing chefs from all over the country and the world. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Share it with your fellow chefs and food enthusiasts. So until next time, I'm Eli Kulp. Thank you for watching. And remember to keep pushing yourself to be better and be kind to each other.